How's everyone doing, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping out another video. Right, guys, gonna go off subject, but a little bit, but still like a little bit relevant to prison as well in a chapter as well. So, as you can tell from the title, I'm going to talk about travellers, right? Um, Travellers, in my opinion, right, get a bad press and stuff. There's a lot of stereotypes of travellers and stuff, right? And over the years and stuff, right, I've met travellers in many walks of life, right? I've met travellers through doing the doors. I've met many men in prison, and I've also, even when I was doing the doors, like many years ago, I was working at one of the roughest pubs in Manchester, and it was called the Kings, right? It's now called the Northern on Oldham Street here in Manchester city centre, right? And I was on the door. I was on my own, right? One of the lads hadn't turned up, right? So I was waiting for someone. I was waiting for another lad to turn up. So I was on my own, and football was on, and there was no football shirts allowed, right, inside the pub for obvious reasons, right? Troubles and rivalries, and everything that comes with football here in Manchester. So these pissheads came to the door. There was a traveller girl that was outside talking to me at the time, and the pub was, a lot of travellers used to drink in there and stuff like that. Right, like I say, never had a problem with them. I showed them respect, they showed me respect. Great people, right? Loved them to bits, proper top lads, right? And these pissheads came to the door. These weren't travellers, they were just football fans. I said, listen lads, I said, can't let you in. I said, in a football shirts. And they started to gather around the door, right? Now, I knew it was going to go off, yeah. I just could tell with the tone and the way they... I don't speak to people like a dickhead, I never have and I never will. But these lads just could tell they weren't happy, right? That I told them they couldn't come in. So the traveller girl walked inside, right? She sort of like moved past me. She got inside. And within 2 minutes, a minute, I felt an arm on my shoulder from behind me. I was stood on the door, and then I looked behind me, and it was all the travelling men that were out, that had been coming to the bar for like frequenting the bar and stuff. They came out, and they stood literally shoulder to shoulder with me at the door. I said, listen man, you got to fucking fight with him, you fucking fight with us, do you know what I mean? And that, right? Now, so they literally dropped it on the toes of these football lads, right? I was on my own. Like I said, these travellers, they used to come in all the time and stuff, and I showed them the respect and stuff, right? And like I say, I like travellers a lot. I can't speak highly enough of them. They get a bad press and a lot of bad shit said about them. I don't agree with any of it, right? And these travellers, like I say, these travelling men stood shoulder to shoulder with me and said, listen, you want to fucking fight with him, you fucking fight with us, do you know what I mean? Right? And the lads suddenly didn't want to fight. And then I was like, I thought, fuck for that. Because like I say, guys, I'm only one man, right? And the simple fact is, there was 4 or 5 of these lads. There was one of me, and it would have come on top, and I would have got filled in, right? No shame in that. I didn't get filled in. Like I say, these travellers came out and stood shoulder to shoulder with me and dropped it on these lads' toes, and they didn't want to know. And from that time, one of the elders and stuff, right, his hands were like a bunch of bananas. His fucking hands were massive. And he shook my hand. He said, listen, man, he said, you've always shown us the respect, so we'll show you the respect. He said, I've no problem with that. He said, me and my lads and that, he said, we're fighting men, we don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? And you know what, yeah, like I say, they didn't owe me that. I'm not a traveller, I'm not from a travelling background or anything, but they, just because I had the respect for them, like I say, when I do the doors and stuff, you never know who you're going to come across, right? So I've never been a bully on the doors. I've been the pissed up person that I'm kicking out, right? I've been the pissed up person that's been kicked out of venues. So when I do the doors, I have the same mentality. I don't do the doors now, I haven't done them for many years, but when I did do the doors, like I said, I had the respect for people. It doesn't matter if the 3 stone went through or it's a 7-foot monster, right? I speak to people the same, right? I've always had that, and I live by that. So like I say, that was one instance with travellers and stuff. So that's just where I showed them the respect and they came and stuff. I like travellers, me, right? Like I've seen it too many times on YouTube and TV programs where travelling men, right, they have a problem, and they call each other out. There's like, you've got fair go, which is like a fair fight, where like they'll glove, like they'll wrap their hands and stuff, and they'll stand there and they'll knock 10 shades of shit out of each other, right? Until a man, what they call, gives best. Gives best means like you quit to the better man, right? That's you admitting defeat, right? Like I say, I'm not a traveller. I don't like proclaim to be a traveller. I'm just seeing the things that I've seen over the years and stuff on programs and on YouTube and stuff like that. Travellers, like you've got a fair go, which is a fair fight where you might have a referee from both families or one referee, and they say, right, they do it split down the middle. Fair's fair. Like you can't, once the man gets knocked down, he can take as long as he needs to get up, right? But if he gets up and he goes again, right? Until, like I say, he gives best. Then you've got what I've heard called a dirty goal. A dirty goal is a dirty fight where you can punch, headbutt, fucking bite. You know what I mean? You can bite people's ears off and fucking all sorts of stuff, right? That's a dirty goal. I think that's if a rivalry's ran deep. But the thing is, what I like about the Travellers, right, is they've got a lot of morals and a lot of principles, and they live by them and stuff like that. Like I say, I've met Travellers on the street. I've met Travellers doing the doors. I've been backed up by Travellers when I've been doing the door, and I've also been in prison with many Traveller man, right, with Traveller people, right. And do you know what? They're the nicest people you could ever meet, right? But never cross them, right? Never ever cross them. I've never crossed them, so like I say, I've never had an issue with them, right? But the very proud and the very proud family men and the fierce protectors of the family and stuff, and like they believe that the women, they do the washing and the cleaning and the cooking, and the man goes out and he works and then he fights for his family name and stuff like that. And even from a young age and stuff, Travellers seem to be brought up to fight. Like, do you know what I mean? And I love it. Like I was watching a video just before on YouTube and stuff of travellers calling each other out, and they stand there, right? None of this blindsiding them from behind and I'm attacking them from behind and all this, right? Just standing there, like it's like going back to the good old days of bare knuckle boxing, right? Fighting on the cobbles and on the streets, right? And you know what, right? Even the men, they fight till they're old, right? And then their sons are taught to fight, and their sons' sons are taught to fight. And do you know what? And like I say, then they go to there's this thing called Appleby and stuff, which takes place every year. Like I say, there's lots of Traveller names and lots of Traveller families and stuff. You've got Irish-born Travellers, right? And then you've got English-born Travellers. Travelling seems to be a thing that seems to be like, it seems to be dying out, because like they move, like where they used to move and go and like move on sites and stuff like that, and from place to place and live on the road and stuff, they seem to, wherever they move onto a car park or something, they seem to get an eviction notice. And I'm thinking it's bang out of order. I think it's racist, to be honest. I think it's the culture. They've done it for fucking hundreds of years, right? Travellers. So why they should be allowed to carry on doing it, right? But now it seems that many, like there's a site up near me. There's a Traveller site up near me. But then a lot of Travellers seem to end up in bricks and mortar. I've been with a Traveller girl once. Her family didn't approve, and the relationship fizzled out, and it was a shame because she was a great girl. And I was gutted because it didn't work out, but her family didn't approve of me because the fact that Travellers marry Travellers, right? And I was like, they call them a gorger. A gorger means like a non-travelling man. But like I say, that too many people stereotype Travellers and stuff like that. I think they live a proud culture, right? I was in prison with them, and a lot of them are Roman Catholic and stuff, and they go to mass, right, on a Sunday and stuff like that. And they've all got like prayer beads with cross and chain, like the cross with Jesus on the cross and stuff like that. And they're proud, they're religious. And they keep it's like a secretive world. They keep their like family, they keep their traditions private and stuff. But you know what? Like I say, but then when you see a Traveller wedding or a Traveller sadly passes away, and you see the wealth and the expenditure, like the money that they'll pay to give their loved one a sending off of massive proportions. And they're just like, Traveller women are some of the most beautiful women you could ever wish to see. I mean, you can see, I've done security and I've done doors all over, and in my personal opinion, you can spot a Traveller lady from a mile off. They're very, like, they're stunning. They take very good pride in their appearance. They're always like, the makeup's on point, and they take pride in themselves, like I say. And the thing is as well, like, they're very religious, and they're very like Traveller women, from what I've like the traveller that I was with, they don't sleep around and stuff like that. It's frowned upon, and then they marry into travellers, and then there's a thing called grabbing as well, which I heard, where like a guy will grab a girl, and then like that's like he claims her to be his own and stuff like that. Like I say, I've come across travellers in many different walks of life, and I just think that they're good people. And like I say, there's a lot of stereotypes, and people slag them off, people stereotype them, people use derogatory terms like Jippo and all that. I don't like all that. The travellers, that's what they do. They've done it for decades, right? They've done it for hundreds of years, right? And they still want to be travellers, but because of the government and the police and stuff, I think they get a bad stereotype, and I think people treat them badly. The thing is, people judge travellers, but they don't know travellers, right? So, and they shouldn't judge. No one should be judged, right? Who are we to judge anybody? Do you know what I mean? You should never judge anybody. I've come across travellers in prison and stuff like that. Again, a traveller is a peaceful man. The travellers I came across in prison were peaceful men, but if you ever dropped it on their toes, right, they would fight. And like I say, none of this attacking you from behind and all this. They'll just say, if you want it, let's fucking have it, right? And they'll stand there, toe to toe, man to man, eye to eye, and they'll have it, right? And that, it's a dying trade these days in this day and age. You see, like us Brits and stuff, right? If we've got a fucking incident, like a problem in a nightclub, you'll grab a bottle from the bar and you'll bam, smash it over someone's head, or you give him a cheap shot or something. Travellers, it's not like that. It's like, look, you've got a problem, I'll come to see you, or in 6 weeks' time, mate, I'll give you 6 weeks to train yourself up, and then we'll have a bit of BKB, bare knuckle boxing, right? And like I say, bare knuckle boxing is like the first form of boxing that was ever, like, that's how old the travellers' traditions are, that the bare knuckle boxing, fighting on the streets and stuff. You've got boxers like Tyson Fury now. I think his relative was called Tiger Gorman, and he came over from Ireland and used to be a bare knuckle boxer, right? The travellers are proud, and they're proud people, and I like them. I like to say, you guys will have to let me know below in the comment section, what do you think of travelling men? Have you ever come across a traveller woman? Have you had a relationship with a traveller woman? Are you a woman that's had a relationship with a traveller man? In what realm have you come into contact with travellers? Are you travellers? There's a lot of people on my YouTube channel, right? And a lot of people that subscribe to me on YouTube and my Twitter that are travelling people, right? And they're all based around the country. My brother's cousin, right, down in London, he's estranged now, but he was with a traveller girl, right? And he's got 2 kids with a traveller girl and stuff down in London. Like I say, you guys will have to let me know. Like I say, I find the traditions, the fact that they're religious, I think they've got good morals and good principles and stuff like that. And I think we could have learned a lot from travellers. Like I say, travellers, they're very secretive. They keep themselves to themselves. Travellers go with travellers run with travellers and stuff like that. But when there's a problem, they get on the phone, right, or they'll call each other out on YouTube, and then someone will return a video and say, right, fuck it, you know what, let's have it. And all travellers, right, from what I've seen and stuff, travellers know travellers. I remember doing a doors on a New Year's Eve in Heckmanwike near Batley, and in the Red Lion, right, it was rough as fuck pub, and these travellers came in, right, and there was a bit of argy-bargy with a gang of local lads that were in the club. Now the travellers were outnumbered, right, but they was all big lumps, yeah, and you could tell that they, like I say, the fact that from a young age they taught to fight, right, and knew that this was going to be like thing, but I was chatting to the travelling men, and I said, listen, I said, if it comes on top, right, I said, not that you need us to, I said, but me and my boy here, right, because me and my mate were both big lumps, we said, we'll stand with you and we'll have it with them. And then there was a bit of a standoff, right, and we stood with the travellers, right, and then another van turned up and the travellers got out and they came in, and we were stood with the travellers, right, and we was ready to give it these local lads, and I tell you what, we would have fucking hammered them, like, we was absolutely ready to give it to them, but they thought better of it, and they ended up moving on to they ended up going into Batley in a taxi, them lot. But like I say, we stood shoulder to shoulder with the travellers. Like I say, I like the travelling people, me. I can't speak highly enough of them. Like I say, I don't know any travellers now, but like I say, I come into contact with travellers and the traditions and who they are as people, and every instance I've had with a traveller has been a good one. There's a site here in Manchester on Danzig Street, and then there's a site close to where I live as well. And like I say, I just think they're good people, good morals, good principles. And if they have a fight, they stand there and they have a fucking one-on-one. And then they can have a fair go, right? A fair go is a fair fight, right? Or they have a dirty go, depending on, like I say, if it's bad blood and like there's a lot of pent-up anger and the rivalry might not run deep. But as soon as they've knocked fuck out of each other, right? They shake hands and that's that. I can't speak highly enough of it. I think it's brilliant. Right, guys, going to leave it here. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And I'll speak to you all soon. Let me know your comments below. What you think of travellers, your experiences as travellers. Are you a traveller? You'll have to let me know. All right, guys, speak to you soon. Bye.